gonna finish doing 2 coats on this, and then we're gonna throw some airflow on this, and that's gonna speed up the dry time. I mean, it's already drying out, and it's only been down for maybe 10-15 minutes, so we'll finish this up, and then we'll go into taping our edges to create the dam for the epoxy pour. So we bonded all the seams, all the nail holes from nailing the trim face on, all the screw holes on the top, any seams were filled, sanded. And then we also caulked this back edge gap. So the whole back edge of the counters, you know, there's usually a gap there. And this thing's pretty much ready to go. So we're gonna mix up the primer, put the primer on, and then start coating this. Wait, before we dive back into this project, we've got something exciting to share. Introducing Leggari Academy, your gateway to mastering the coatings industry. Learn not just the processes you're watching now, but tons of other techniques to create stunning, durable countertops, floors, walls, and showers. But that's not all. We also offer a comprehensive business seminar equipping you with marketing, sales strategies, and financial management skills. Whether you're just starting out or expanding your coating business, Leggari Academy is your ticket to success. Don't just watch us, join us and transform your future. And this is our white primer. The part B is the pigmented part. Scraping the sides, scraping the bottom. But just keep in mind, if you're gonna prime, make sure you can epoxy over that within 2 hours. All right, so we got a coat on everything. Now I'm gonna go around and just hit these faces again, because if you look, you can kind of see where all the Bondo patches were. There's one, kind of see all those darker spots. I'm not worried about the top because the top's gonna be on so thick. I just want my top corners, my faces, to be as bright white as I can get them, and 2 coats will do that. All right, so what we need to do now that the primer's dry, it's tacky, we need to tape our edges. We like to use yellow painter's tape, masking tape. It sticks the best. We're gonna do 2 layers of tape, and we're basically gonna tape half onto the face and half is gonna be sticking up. And I always pinch my corners in, it tightens it up a little. But again, the biggest thing is making sure you got a nice tight seal everywhere. So what we're gonna be using on this kitchen is stuff from our single item store, Leggari.com. You can buy single items, gallon and a half kits of epoxy, metallics, colors, all kinds of different things, singly, not in countertop kits. So since we're doing kind of a stone kit process, taping the edges, we're gonna be doing 8 ounces per square foot. Typically you do 4 ounces on our standard kits, but we're gonna do it a lot thicker. You get a lot more depth, a lot more modeling. The counters flow over the edges better. They coat the edges thicker. There's a lot of benefits of pouring your counters thicker, and the designs you get are a lot different from a standard kit where you're using half the materials. All right, so it's good when you guys are dumping out to make sure you're getting color everywhere, right? We don't want to pour too much of one color out, and then when we get to a different spot in the counter, we don't have any more of that color. So you can kind of see we've kind of evened all the color out. So now these bigger spots that are opened up, see how all this product's touching and leveled out? I don't want to push it away. When I'm blending it, I want to kind of bring some of this product to fill in these spots. So taking our squeegee and just kind of following that pattern that we have laid out, because again, we want to get everything kind of coated. And that's why we do it thick, guys. See how it just levels itself out, and you get these really cool effects just from these universal pigments. We haven't even sprayed this thing yet, and this thing is looking awesome. So you guys see all the cool fracture veins, right? This stuff you see in natural stone. We got all this cells, just really, really exotic looking, very cool. Okay, so we spray the isopropyl. Last thing, we're gonna let this evaporate for about 10 minutes, and then we're gonna mist the surface with denatured alcohol. That's gonna make the surface layout glass smooth, and then we'll probably wait anywhere from half an hour to an hour to pull the tape and let the edges get coated. So what we do now is I'm just gonna come through and slick this whole face off. Don't worry about messing up the design, it's still gonna flow over. We just have to get rid of all the surface tension. And then once you're happy with your edges, your faces, we're just gonna scrape the drips. So I like to use a putty knife, something that's flat, skinny, right? So we're almost cutting it off. You can do paint sticks when it's kind of really fluid, but when it starts to get sticky, I always like to scrape it with a putty knife. It'll keep it from building back up on your countertop, and it'll kind of just shave it right off. So as long as we do that, we won't have to sand any of the drips, the edges, but we'll probably have to scrape those drips again in another half an hour or so. To about that time this thing will be set up. So that's pretty much it for the applying the epoxy. Tomorrow we'll show up. We're gonna be doing a matte top coat on this. It's gonna look really, really good. We need to coat these two rooms, that room on the left, and this little section here. So we're gonna pour this out, and then I'm gonna take the notch squeegee, get the whole floor coated. We're gonna cross roll the floor after that, and then we're gonna add highlights and swirl those in. So that's kind of the process to get the floor down.